Welcome back. There's news coming in from the sporting world where we're now learning that the Wrestling Federation of India elections will be held on the 4th of July. The Indian Olympic Association has come out and confirmed that those elections will be held shortly. Former Jammu and Kashmir High Court Chief Justice Mahesh Mittal Kumar has been appointed as a returning officer for these elections as well. That's the latest that we are gathering. Remember, this was one of the demands that the protesting wrestlers had made, not only that the elections be held, but Brijbhushan Singh Saran and nobody from his family would be eligible to be at the helm of affairs of the federation. Now we're learning that the elections are going to be held next month on the 4th of July. Shivani, my colleague, getting us more details on this. Shivani, it's a long pending demand as far as these elections go. How significant is this?
Well, the wrestlers have made a demand that when the next elections happen, close confidants of Brijbhushan Saran, or at least those who are family members of his, should not be allowed to contest the elections. And you would remember the last time the sports minister Anurag Thakur held a meeting with the protesting wrestlers, this was one of the demands that was posed by them. The sports ministry has assured them that nobody close to Brijbhushan Saran or his family would not be allowed to contest for the executive positions of the National Sports Federation, because some of them are linked to the state federations, and they would be open to file their nominations. Now, so this becomes very critical, that when the next elections happen, will the family members of Brijbhushan Saran file their nominations via the state bodies or not? I think that's going to be very interesting to see, because fundamentally you actually cannot restrict anybody from filing their nominations and fighting these elections. They are fought like any other elections, where everybody who's part of a state federation can be pitched to become part of the national federation. So I think one of those key things that the sports ministry has assured protesting wrestlers for will be up. Otherwise, the ad hoc committee that was formed by the IOA at the insistence of the sports ministry is going to be conducting these elections. The deadline by the World Wrestling Body was 45 days. In any case, that deadline is going to expire very soon, because the ad hoc body took charge in the first week of May. So while the sports minister had said that these elections should be held by June 30, a delay of 4 days, I think they will be able to convince the World Federation that we are in the process. There's a certain process where a special General Assembly has to be called, a notification of these elections has to be given, nominations have to be called, electoral college has to be formed, etc. So all of those processes will now kick in. It's good that the elections are finally taking place, because if these elections were to be postponed, if there was any kind of more further delay coming in, then the National Federation, the WFI, could have come under suspension from the international body, as they had already outlined in their last statement. So the most interesting thing to watch out for, Poonam, will be whether those associated with Brijbhushan Saran, certainly family members, but even those who are seen as close to him, whether they will file their nominations or not, or will there be an understanding via Brijbhushan that nobody from his family should contest these elections.
That was one of the assurances based on which the wrestlers had said that they will not escalate their protest. So it will be interesting to watch that out for. But Shivani, just to put this in perspective, we're now learning that a former Jammu and Kashmir High Court Chief Justice is going to be the returning officer for this election. Just to explain to our viewers, is this routinely done in elections like these, or is this something that has been specially looked into at this time around?
So this is specially for these elections, because the ad hoc body by the IOA has taken charge of the day-to-day running of the WFI. And one of those, it was supposed to be a 3-member panel. There are 2 members already there, but the 3rd member, who was supposed to be a retired judge under whose guidance the elections could have been held, had not been appointed so far. So now the update that is coming in is of that retired judge also getting appointed. And now, in a way, the process will start to hold the next elections coming in.
And those elections are going to be held on the 4th of July. Shivani, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. Whether it's enough to allay fears of the world body and, of course, of the wrestlers as well, we'll keep an eye out.